Yes. Resource person has joined. Okay.
Good evening.
Mustafa sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay. I was eagerly waiting to see you.
Give me a couple of minutes.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Apparently, I am coordinating one training program here in life skills.
Okay.
I that is there in the guest house. It is going on, and I switched it to my office. And give me a couple of minutes.
Okay, sir. No problem. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Mustafa sir, welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, friends, are you ready now to start? Okay. Now we are having the sixth session of the 8-day program. That is a session on interconnectivity of teaching and research by Professor MNM Mustafa, Dean of School of Education, Central University of Kerala, Kasargod. He's a good friend of mine, and both of us started our career in Farouk College, Calicut, Kerala, and we had several collaborative programs earlier also. So Mustafa, welcome sir, welcome to the Chris Valley and the program. Now I call upon Ms. Sita Lakshmi, the course coordinator, to have the formal welcome address. Sita, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening to one and all once again. And I'm not taking our resource person's time more. So we have our eminent Professor Mustafa sir here. As said, he is a professor and head of the Department of Education at Central University of Kerala and director of E. Sridharan Center for Life Skills Education. He has been a former dean of School of Education, former director of IQAC Central University of Kerala, former controller of the examination Central University of Kerala, and has held many other academic positions. And today, I think he is going to share his knowledge on about interconnectivity between teaching and research, which is an very essential part of our teacher's life. So I think participants, we can use a resource person at the most, and I warmly welcome you, sir, to this session. Sir, please.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes.
We can go up to 6:45 and we can have a 15 minutes discussion and we will wind up by 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, sir, please.
So, thank you so much for inviting me for this program, and it is very happy to meet beloved Dr. Usman sir. I see, though it is in the virtual mode. And Sita Lakshmi madam, thank you so much for your very precise and nice words about me. And no need of further elaboration. I am moving to my presentation on interconnectivity between teaching and research. As at the very outset, I would like to extend my greetings on behalf of my institution, Central University of Kerala, to all the participants. And dear friends, when sitting on my cabin here at the extreme north part of the extreme south state, Kerala, I could able to see all of you as beautiful petals arranged on an inflorescence. But I'll be more happy if some of you can switch on your video mode so that I can have a bit of interaction on looking on your face, not eye. The eye contact and all are, it is psychologically, it's a kind of, now I realize that it is a kind of jargon which we are using in spending 28 years in the teacher education field. Now I realize that you can have contact with your face. Obviously, I become a part and parcel of your face. There will be eye contact. So please, Sita Lakshmi ma'am, Huzina ji, then Shruti, please, Mujitaba Ataf, sir, please, Yunus sir, please, Saumya Prakash, Rashida,
yes, sir.
Rashida madam. Yeah, please switch on your video if possible. It's not mandatory, but I'll be happy if you can switch on your video. Sabita Rajiv. Yes, thank you, Jayaprakash ji. Yes, Sherin Sana, Janika, Muhammad Ismail. Okay, see, I'm moving ahead with, I know all the problems, issues, and of being in online, but I will try. So interconnectivity between teaching and research. As you know, now we have the higher education scenario of the country. We have 1,043 universities and 11,707 standalone institutions and around 45,000 colleges. This is a quantitative expansion that had taken place from the period of independence, where we had already 15 universities. So day by day, the number of universities, research institute, and affiliated colleges. In fact, NEP 2020 had put a subtle shift in the working culture of the pattern of the university, that proposal. And all these are centered around three domains of education: teaching, research, and extension. And these are the three pillars of higher education: teaching, research, and extension. And now the question, so obviously in the university landscape, higher education landscape, a question happens whether a teacher has to teach or has to indulge seriously in research. And there are a few teachers who are slowly neglecting their research part. Sometimes they are underestimating. I'm not using even sub. They are underestimating the worth and significance of research in the field of education. And there are few people who are very seriously loaded with the output generated from the laboratories or the field and all. They are working like big scholars and big researchers, and they are telling that, or they are arguing that universities are concerned to research and there is no need for classroom teaching or teaching at higher education. It is not our cup of tea. But the fact is that teaching and research should go hand in hand along with extension, because higher education, rather educational institutions, are societal institution instituted by the society, for the society, and of the society. So hence, it is highly significant and essential that there should have a kind of synchronization between the three pillars of higher education. And now, see, 1 hour during this, around 1 hour, we will try to explore some of the aspects of synchronizing or networking with research, teaching in higher education. And see, this symbiotic relationship or symbiosis between the teaching and research is rationalized by the theoretical perspective that it is substantiated by the pluralistic nature of knowledge. My argument is based on a conceptual framework. I conceive, and if you examine the nature of the knowledge by having an epistemological pursuit to the knowledge, you can easily and effectively understand that knowledge exists in a pluralistic pursuit. Say, for example, the air we breathe, the water which we are drinking, the biodiversity, the ocean, the atmosphere, any topic which you wish to take, you can see a mixing of an interconnectivity of different perspectives, which are existing in a pluralistic way. In the knowledge person, in the air we are breathing, we breathe. We have physics, we have geography, we have chemistry, we have biology, and we have aesthetic perception, we have language, and every kind of things. So, since knowledge is in a pluralistic manner, we cannot differentiate as a watertight compartment about teaching and about research, because the research will contribute to the production of knowledge, and that production of knowledge is disseminated by the process of teaching or curricular delivery. So my first argument is substantiated, I believe. Am I correct, Sita Lakshmi madam? Yes. So my second argument is the interpretative nature of academic work. Now I am seriously, I little bit late for today. Now I am in a workshop where the content being is generated related with the life skills. And this content generation will be remains as a dead culture unless and until it is being transferred to the society or transferred to the stakeholders or partners of education. So that clearly illustrates the nature of academic work, where something is derived, it is to be transferred to the tail end. If it is indigested and remain as a constipation in the production unit itself, it is no use, nothing as a dead culture rather than a dead culture. So you can see, since the academic nature of academic work is interpretative in nature, someone is needed. A butterfly, look the picture of a butterfly in a textbook. The butterfly remains nothing unless and until a teacher gives lives to the butterfly. Unless and until the teacher gives wings to the butterfly. Unless and until a biology teacher gives wings to the metamorphosis of butterfly, the butterfly remains a lifeless entity in the book in a symbolic manner. So here comes the role of the teaching so as to disseminate the research outcomes. And symbiosis is the watchword of nature and watchword of energy. If you examine any system, I am moving to my third argument to illustrate that there should form a soul network between teaching and research in higher education. Because if you analyze any system in the universe, whether it is biological, whether it is physical, chemical, whether it is geological, you can see a cyclic correlation, reciprocal mutuality between the various elements. Say, for example, the bio-geochemical cycle that we are enjoying. So water is originated and water is moved, used by the different elements in the ecosystem. It is being transferred to the same point where it is originated. And you take the case of synergy that I'm illustrating the networking by taking the conceptualization of synergy. If teaching is combined with research, the output that derived from the single unit will be greater than the outcome derived by the multiple aligned conceptualization of teaching and research. And my fourth argument is good research is essential for good teaching. How? Say, for example, Jayaprakash sir and myself, we are all digital immigrants who migrated from a non-digital culture to a digital world. And the present day Gen Z, who born after 1996, including most of my students, they are of digital natives. So the aspirations, the ecological, the sociological, the psychological, the cultural concerns of digital natives will be different from digital immigrants like Jayaprakash sir and myself. Obviously, we need to engage in serious research about the psychosocial and economic perspectives of the students of the present day world to effective transaction of the curriculum. So therefore, the fourth argument is that the effective teaching and learning process, for dissemination of the part, a teacher of higher education should sustain the research rigor. Then only he or she will be able to transfer the curriculum in an effective manner. And now, my first part, my preamble is okay. I believe like that. Are you okay with me? Are you okay with me? Yeah. If you are okay and you are traveling along with me, you please type Y in your chat box. Or if you are not satisfied, please type N in your chat box. Please. I will give you 2 minutes. There are 30 participants. You can, no, 50 participants. Come on, if you are okay, comfortable, please type Y. Or nobody is comfortable. Ah, yes. Muhsina ji. Yeah. Then, why? Yeah. Mujitaba Thaif. Okay. Why? Come on. Yes, it's okay. The principal from Grace Valley, Dr. Usman ji, sir, has given. Okay, sir. Okay, I'm just making sure that you are traveling with me along the evening tea and all kind of things you are in your hometown. And now we are moving to the different synergies that is there in the teaching research culture. Then the research added value for teaching. And the second postulation is that we will try to understand these 5 components in further. How research added value for teaching, and how teaching added value for research. Then we will try to explore the networking between teaching and research at institutional level, at teacher level, and at student level. And now, how research added value to teaching? It is by introducing new knowledge resulted from the research into curriculum. And if a faculty member of higher education is involving in research activity, it is a visibility of the epistemological trajectory of knowledge that has contributed to the development of the individual, development of the nation, development of the society in a comprehensive manner. Contribute to the extent to which student learning reflects a research process. And it it, according to Jenkins, it contributes to the ways and extent to which student research competencies are developed and assessed. If research is added to a value, how it is contributing to the teaching means the visibility of faculty engagement will be an exemplary model for the students to involve, to actively engage in the research process, and that will contribute to the knowledge protection of the knowledge protection, and hence the learning become so effective. And now the second part, how teaching added value for research. For effective training of researchers, a strong professional research environment in higher education institutions and universities are very essential. You are a teacher. Primarily, a teacher has to facilitate the all-round development of the individual learner, face or enable the learner to face the challenges of the present day world, enable the learner to face the challenges of the frontiers of unexpected uncertainties in the life. So in order to facilitate this, the research, if a researcher is not engaging in teaching simply on knowledge production, knowledge verification, and knowledge application process, that a teacher in the higher education will not be act as a mentor or a catalytic enabler of the all-round development of the individual. So now, how teaching contributed to research and how research contributed to teaching is clearly established and substantiated in this way. And now coming to how this synergy can be brought about in the institutional level, I have a few arguments. Evidence-based teaching and research, it should be demonstrated and empirically celebrated in the learning ecosystem of higher education. And there should be a learning ecosystem which respects the value of research. Why research is significant? Research is significant because everything which is used by the Homo sapiens or human being so far to improve the standard of living is the outcome of the functional understanding of the research. The spectacles which we are using, the dress which we are wearing, and the food which we are, and social science research and economic research, it's very well, it's a fact that India, being a country without nothing production in 50s, 60s, etc., and we have to depend upon the other countries for the food problem and all, importing wheat, importing rice, and at that time the public used, or the common man used, a form of food grain named cassava, which has been prepared by drying the tapioca, tapioca and all. So from that system, it is by green revolution, by the production of high yield variety of wheats, rices, and all other pulses, millets, etc., it contributes to the food security of the country. So unless and until the culture or the respectful initiative of the then prime ministers by utilizing the capacities of the scientists at that time, especially M.S. Swaminathan, our country could able to move into that kind of a food self-sufficiency security system in terms of the food production. It had largely contributed to the poverty eradication of the country. So, such kind of a respectfulness, respecting the intellect, respecting the researchers should be there in all the educational institutions. And another example, anecdote which I want to tell you, to recollect here. Now, there had a period where Soviet Union and the United States of America were in total Cold War. So at that time, Russia launched its first space shuttle named Sputnik with Yuri Gagarin as the first space traveler. And there was a lot of dissatisfaction across the American, because they were not satisfied with the present up-to-date the culture of science teaching and learning. And there were the impression that our country is not giving a sort of respect to the science, and we are not able to produce anything. And the Sputnik diplomacy is very, very famous in the history of, and therefore a system, or in any educational system, then what's the follow-up of America related to that dissatisfaction? All the curriculum revised, and there were a spectacular, significant worthfulness attempt from the part of the government, so as to improve the method of teaching and learning in science across America. And the achievement is that within 10 years they could able to send 3 men, not to the space even, but to the moon. So this is the reflection of a learning environment that value in the research. Then third point, by giving greater emphasis on the project element of the undergraduate students. See, if we unless and until the project-based learning or project method, which is a research-oriented the system of learning, is introduced in the institutional level, there will not be visible impact or visible evidences of the synchronization or of the teaching and the research. Then for this, there should be training for the undergraduate process regarding the research methodology. How it happened or why it should happen? Because Percy Nunn, the great thinker and educationist, he asserts that the words prime contributors, scientists or investigators, their contribution is not their inventions and discoveries, but the way how they pursued these inventions and discoveries. Therefore, we have to highlight and we have to put thinking heads on the shoulders of the students, so that they will be committed and they will be skillful in terms of the research methodology and its praxis, etc. Then the development of thought postgraduate program within research centers. So research centers PG program should be totally converted into a research-oriented approach, giving Paka training in training for undergraduate students in research methodology. And now another very important step to be taken is pedagogic research and its utility in planning, teaching, and learning process. Teacher should become an experimental pedagogue rather than imposing a pedagogical approach formulated or designed by some other persons, analyzing the context in which he or she had in existence. Rather than each teacher has to formulate his or her own pedagogical approach by customizing the context of localization in which he or she is living. Such a kind of pedagogical research, it will contribute to that utility in planning, teaching, and learning. Then now the synergy, how this synergy can be brought out in the teacher level. It is a challenging task, as all of us know. As once when the media persons asked Dr. S. Radhakrishnan when he was taking the oath of President of India, one question was brought to him, which is the most difficult task. Then his reply was, to teach the teacher is the most difficult task. And we are celebrating Teachers' Day on his birthday. It's in a kidding manner I am telling all these things. But the mindset of the teacher is very important. I had come across various teachers who used to severely criticize the researchers and the teachers who are involved in research. And so as to promote the teacher to contribute to their discipline by conducting a macro or meso or micro research, we should formulate explicit management strategy. Then another barrier or acclaimed or argumented by the teachers that we have to finish the syllabus. We are not getting enough time for research and doing that. So it is a effective allocation of time, then only it is possible. But the fact is that, my dear friends, publish or perish. Now the watchword in research is, or teaching is, in the higher education level, publish or perish. So you have a lot of inventions and discoveries. Unless and until we are not able to disseminate that discoveries and inventions, it is a futile activity from the part of a teacher. So therefore, an effective allocation of time for such kind of establishing a synergy is very much essential, so as to bring it at the teacher level. And now we are moving to bringing about this kind of a synergy between teaching and research at the student level. Who is a student? What for the student comes to the higher education institution? What we are giving to the students? Or whether the students are only a plot to be filled with dead informations, or a bottle to be filled by the information which is passing from the teacher's notebook to students' notebook without passing through their head and heart. All these are concerns. Human is basically a homo faber. Homo faber means one who is having the ability to create something, and one who find joy out of creation. One who find joy out of creation, and one who is having, excuse me, 1 minute, please, let me. So the student for the higher education sector, when a student is for entering to an undergraduate program, the slogan of the university education or higher education or tertiary education system is that enter to learn and exit to serve. That means after spending 12 years of life by rigorous teaching learning process in the school system, he or she is capable of leading a miniature civic individual. So therefore, after completing the undergraduate, finishing stage of all these training, he or she should be able to serve the society. And for this, the student should not be considered as mere bottles to be filled by the informations from the teacher's notebook. But their inquisitiveness, their innovativeness, their divergent ability, all this must be promoted or must be facilitated in the higher education institutions. Then only they will be able to contribute to the society as a civilized citizen. And now India is, our country is proclaiming, we are all proclaiming that India is a youth country, where the 60% or 50% of the entire population is in that between the ages of youth period. Or because of that, 45% of the world's youth, 50% of the world's youth is in our country. And we are proclaiming the demographic dividend derived from these. But unless and until this demographic dividend is largely and effectively channeled with proper research, mindset, inquisitiveness, and risk-taking behavior, and all, the culture or this demographic dividend will become a demographic catastrophe. And for this, the student participation in research activities like seminars, conferences, then small bit of research-oriented work is to be promoted in the institutions largely. And the undergraduate and postgraduate involvement should be there in staff research also. Staff research means the faculty of higher education at the institutional level should able to induct the students into the research culture. Then only this nexus is, or this networking will be possible. And now I'm presenting an organizational model for teaching and research nexus. It is an integrated system where if the puzzles cards are separated out, it is nothing. It gives you a kind of vacuum in appearance. But in that, if it is coupled or if it is united or joined in a systematic pattern, it will gives rise to a beautiful end product. Likewise, the different units of the system must be integrated, or the teaching it should not be conceived and confined and communicated as a peripheral node, but each domain and each phases of the teaching should be integrated by the research element. And that is the one model. And the other model, there should be concentration of research in separate set of research institutions. Or the third model represents institutional differentiation, like the proposal made from the NEP 2020. You can have teaching institution, you can have research institution, and you can have teaching plus research institutions. And now in the large system, you can have component-wise systems in the teaching and research. And now the question is, who should develop the link? And the answer is, the teacher is a researcher and the researcher is a teacher. And that link is reciprocal in nature, because the research has to carry out three important functions: either knowledge production, or knowledge verification, or knowledge application. So for example, knowledge production, I illustrate, it gives rise to, for example, the notion is that there is no conversion is not possible between the mass and energy. And now it is a well-stated fact that mass can be converted into energy by applying the formula E is equal to mc square. When a body is moved square rise of the velocity of the light, there will be a production of enthalpy, and that enthalpy will be contributed or applied to many fields. And this is possible by the knowledge production by the researcher Albert Einstein. And now this is what is called the knowledge production aim or function of a research. When it comes to the knowledge verification, you know very well the theory of Lamarck, where Lamarck postulated that this theory is in evolution, it is called inheritance of acquired character. He illustrated this theory with an example of with the example of giraffe. So giraffe, according to him, had a nominal level of ordinal level of the neck, because there were plenty of grasses or plenty of food or available on the surface. But Ramshi madam, please mute your mic.
Okay.
No problem. Sometimes it happens. Okay. So then at a stage where there is scarcity of the food on the surface of the earth, the giraffe has to depend upon the taller trees for in search of its food, in search of its green leaves and all. So giraffe has to stretch the neck in such a way that I'm demonstrating. So this is an acquired character acquired by the then existing giraffe. And according to Lamarck, in due course of time, this character is transferred to the next generation. And this theory is theory of inheritance of acquired characters. And in order to verify this theory, a blind young scientist in the field of evolution, August Weismann, he mutilated the tail of rat one by one, and he allowed to interbreed among these rats. If Lamarck theory is working, the offsprings might she originated without a tail, but the fact was that all the offsprings of the rat were normal, having normal tails. So therefore, the theory has been verified and discarded by the research community. That is the second aspect of the knowledge verification. And the third aspect of the research is knowledge application, where the theory is being applied or put into practice further. Put into practice further. Say, for example, I told you about the E is equal to MC squared equation theory of relativity of Albert Einstein. It is being applied and utilized positively in nuclear reactor for the production of large amount of energy, and it is being negatively utilized in the preparation of this atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, etc. And now the role of research, what teacher and students have to do is there should be a proper a tetrafold pathway where the teacher or faculty has to facilitate the emphasis on research content, and where students as participants rather than audience. And the conventional system is teacher-led, tutor-led kind of a mechanism where the students are conceived as or considered as mere spectators of the game. But in the research-dominated culture, the students are treated as active participants and involving the students in the research process and methodology, so that they are also getting a kind of orientation. They are also getting a kind of elevation when in the context of the higher education, and it will help to bring the research into the classroom. A classroom become a market where there is exchange of idea, where there is protection of knowledge, where there is verification of knowledge, where there is application of knowledge. So such a culture is being brought to the higher education sector if I see an integration of networking between teacher and research is made available. And this will be further promoting the students into involve them into research projects. So I'll tell you the Central University of Kerala model of molecular biology research laboratory, where the pandemic had, during the pandemic era, the COVID testing of North Malabar was a big issue as far as the crisis of pandemic concerned. But the molecular laboratory of Central University of Kerala being converted into COVID lab, where more than 4,49,678 testing were conducted by involving the research students whose area of specialization is the such topics, with the able leadership of the faculty members. So why I am quoting this example here, if we are bringing such a kind of culture in our teaching process, where there is optimum linkage between teaching and research, the research mentality, the research skill, the research competency of the research students, or the students in general, and the research students in particular, can be promoted. So this will promote it will increase the skill of faculty members to teach, emphasizing construction of the knowledge by the students rather than the imparting of knowledge by instructors, because they become an original investigators. And the fact is that that is the meaning of innovative centers, innovative incubation centers. That is the meaning of the startup centers, where the new divergent idea rules the world. But our conventional system of teaching and research, treating in a separate watertight compartment, does not allow such kind of a system for promoting or enabling a linkage between teaching and research. And the fact is that the miserable fact is that our students who are coming out of the higher education sector, they are not able to, when put into their concerned employability field, they miserably or utterly able to demonstrate the specific competencies required from the particular institution. So in order to overcome such kind of an hazardous situations, there can be a deliberate attempt to link the research and the teaching, and it promote the students to function as the real accountable constructor of their own knowledge. Now the knowledge is becoming as a kind of finished product for the students, and the student find a kind of an external kind of an entity which is not having any relevance in his or her life. But as and when the research culture is integrated into the teacher culture, the shift happens will be like this, that where the students respect and find out a kind of self-esteem in the knowledge, the element of knowledge produced by himself or herself. Then the fourth aspect is it broadens a model for academic scholarship, where the faculty members of higher education will be always inquisitiveness in nature, pondering new and new realms, new horizons. And therefore, the silent nature of the scholarship or the silent work of the scholarship, which will turn as massive input for the growth of the system, will be solicited, and therefore this respectfulness towards the academic scholarship will be facilitated. Then it gives a lot of models to deal with the uncertainties and the uncertainty, to face the uncertainties within the discipline and in a multidisciplinary approach. Next, ensure that students experience the process of artistic and scientific productivity. And the students will be able to internalize the two the two sides of the same coin, that for the development of the human civilization, it is artistic as well as scientific excellence is very important. Therefore, such kind of an orientation and sensitization is possible for only by integrating the teaching and the research in the higher education institution. And there you can have a 6 strategy. Now I am presenting 6 strategies for promoting. The first one is developmental and disciplinary understanding of the terms. So what it indicates, the different terminologies, the different terminologies used by other researchers, and such that it can be familiarized in the institutional level. Then the second aspect is review the current portfolio of doing this. How the teaching is going in the higher education institution, how NEP in fact talking about the linkage of teaching and research in every each levels of institution, so as to promote the individual as a total individual or holistic development of the learner, who will be able to withstand in the turbidities of all the economic and neoliberal policies of the world, and develop a set of related curriculum interventions. So how we can see the output is there, but how we can interfere with the issues sort out, like that a strategy should be there. Then develop staffing policies. So how the staffing policy, or how in order to have such an integration, how the staffing pattern to be adopted, what kind of teachers, faculty members are needed by the institution or warranted by the institution, all that can be brought about as the 4th step. Then integrate policies and the structure for teaching and research access. So here also the policies and structures, the policies and perspectives are different, but for the effective integration of the teaching learning process, there should be a sole consideration of the linkage between the integration between the policies and the structure. And obviously the fourth strategy is for the development of or linking the progress that happened by integrating such a such a culture. Then see, there are certain strategies, resources which improve students' achievement. If you are enabling, so as to enable a culture of nexus between teaching and research at higher education level to improve the students' achievement is one, the learning should shift from a pedagogical imposition to a praxis-oriented approach by adapting experiential learning or experiential learning by utilizing the theory of experiential learning like Cobb and Chan. Now, inquiry-based, we have to put thinking heads on the shoulders of the learner rather than receiving. But miserable fact is that most of the students of our classroom, they are having receiving head on. They are not having thinking. Then there are investigations. Let in terms of a group of birds are not migrating to our region nowadays. So as a teacher, you notice this heartfelt, this felt need or heartfelt problem. So what we have to do? Direct investigations in this regard is required. Then the assessment should be authentic. Assessment, the connotation of the assessment and the conceptualization of the assessment by the governing bodies are depending upon many factors. But in order to have a resourceful achievements for the students, the assessment should be authentic and involve the students also. Then application of their learning, then consciousness of their learning goals, then opportunities for self-assessment and monitor their own. So then how to motivate students, research in students. So we know that we are living in a control C, control B culture. What is control C, control C and control B culture? Control C means copy and control B means paste. Here, we are not able to promote the originality of the learner. Now it is not the control C, control B. There also control C, control B comes, but now the watchword is ChatGPT. So therefore, therefore what confined the creativity and the divergency of the learner will be, it is confined and restricted. And if we bring about teaching and learning research nexus, it will be an effective tool for bringing such a kind of ability like creativity and problem solving. Then develop programs to support research students in the development of generic and transferable skills. So there should be provision for transferring, exhibiting, showcasing their contributions so that their self-esteem will be utilized and they will be moving in the direction. And graduates must have the ability to take control over their own learning by adapting hypothesis, testing and evaluating solutions as well as possessing skills. So these are the steps involved in the research, and the students should be allowed to pursue the same pathway as the investigators had worked out to find out the solution for many issues. And now students need to develop their generic skills necessary for completion of their research, transferable skills necessary for their future employability. employment and employability is the major concern of a youth, and therefore we have to adhere into the system that all these how these the research can be converted into an employability finished format, so that the youth of the present day will be an asset to the so in total, my dear friends, I tried to establish the concept of teaching and research networking in higher education institution. And next, I tried to illustrate why there should be an integration between teaching and research in the perspectives of effective teaching. And thirdly, I tried to establish the linkage between teaching and research in terms of effectiveness of research. And as the fifth dimension from my side, what is to be done, what are the advantages at the institutional level, what are the advantages and what is to be done at the student level, what are the things and what is to be done at the teacher level, we had discussed. Now, there are a lot of area where we have to work on bringing about this this integration or this networking, because knowledge is pluralistic in nature, knowledge is generative in nature, and this pathway where we have to formulate a conducive environment, and we have to well connected between the areas, because now in this what is in today, what is surprise will not be a surprise and no more in tomorrow. So therefore, that well networking or connectedness is very important. Then the pedagogical materials and all should be well generated in a resourceful manner, so as to keep in mind the three pillars of the functional pillars of higher education: teaching, research, and extension. So with this, let me sign off for the time being. Thank you so much for your very passionate listening, and over to you. If you have any supplement or if you have any clarification required, please interact with me, say for some 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Mustafa sir. Very highly convincing and very resourceful presentation. It was very engaging, sir. Really engaging. Now somebody has raised the hand. Is Mr. Hasib Chelembra is here? Hasib sir, you have raised the hands. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody? Especially the research in the undergraduate level. He has given a very good discussion on that. The promotion of the research at undergraduate level. That is an issue that every day the teacher of the UG colleges or colleges generally face. So teachers may have some reflections or some reactions to that. Okay, Sir, okay, please.
Sir, as you said, we have a very vast gap between the research and after stopping with the PG, because so many of us are not aware of the importance of research, and every one thinks that it is a burden for us actually, and really the importance of research is coming only when we are implementing this NEP 2020 and when we are going to the future steps. I think It will take a long days to more go to know actually what is the importance of this. And we have to, I think all teachers have to take this into account and make our students also know about this research. I think the session would I'll inform the teachers that what actually research is. It was a nice session, sir. Thank you.
Musina, you have any reflections?
No,
Do you
sir.
have any? Yes, please.
Actually, it's a time for delivering vote of thanks.
Yeah, 1 minute. Madam Sita Lakshmi, madam, thank you so much for reinforcing my argument and all.
Yes.
The problem that Indian education system is facing, that we are, say for example, when moved to my elder generation, little bit Professor Usman sir, and we and all, we are exposed to the research and project culture.
Yes.
In our post graduation only, we have just heard that terminology in the post graduation only. But today's kid, they are exposed to project and all kind of things. In the world scenario, the learner become an individual learner. So where the project is the watchword. So if education system is not taking into consideration this kind of a shift, the faculty members are not indulging in a voluntary manner in research activities, the things will be very, very miserable, because one generation which we are facing in front of us, they are with the update research culture, update project culture, updated technology culture, and we are not heard about the project, not updated. I'm not criticizing, but that is why NEP is giving much emphasis on this. If you have moved to the knowledge economy or this or that, all the dreams are very high, but the reality, in the reality context, it is to be materialized. So thank you for adding to that, and yeah, over to you.
Anything else? Anything else? Actually, tomorrow we have a session on preparing a research proposal by Professor S.M. Khan from the Department of Psychology, Aligarh Muslim University tomorrow. So I think that will also be supplementing what Dr. Mustafa sir has mentioned.
That's nice.
Okay, now I think if nothing is there, we can go to move to the vote of thanks. We have with us Dr. Mujtaba Atif, who is from the C. Abdul Hakim College Autonomous under Tiruvallur University, Vellore. Now I call upon Dr. Mujtaba.
Yes, sir.
Propose the vote of thanks. Please put on your video.
Sir, in my video desktop have some problem, it seems, sir.
Okay, no problem. Okay, you carry on.
Yes,
okay,
please. Good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of the organizing team, I express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Professor Alias Mustafa sir, Dean, School of Education, Central University of Kerala, for sharing your invaluable knowledge and insights on how teaching and research are interconnected during this session. Your perspective on the interconnectivity between teaching and research has enriched our understanding of its importance and implication. Thank you, sir. A special thanks to our principal, sir, Dr. Usman, and program coordinator, Ms. Sita Lakshmi ma'am, for ensuring the smooth execution of this event, and to all those who contributed to its success. I also extend our gratitude to each one of you for your participation and engagement. Thank you, and I look forward to our continued learning and collaboration. Thank you, one and all.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Tomorrow
you,
we will have 2 sessions. I request all the participants to be on time, and we will have the session, 2 sessions, one on preparing a research proposal and second one on Indian pedagogy. To be very interesting and useful sessions tomorrow. We will have Mustafa sir. From my personal behalf, I extend greetings to you and best wishes to you. Okay, all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, may I leave?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Good night.
പോയി വീഴാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു അങ്ങനത്തെ മെമ്പർമാരുടെ കൈ കൊണ്ടുകൊടുത്താണ് പോയി വീഴാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞു പാസ്സായി നമുക്ക് പാസ് നമ്മൾ വിടാണ്ടത് അത് പോയി നമ്മള് ഏത് വാർഡിലും വരാം വാർഡിപ്പോ 24,000 രണ്ടു വാർഡ് കൂടി ചേണ്ടിയിട്ടൊന്ന് കണ്ടമാർക്ക് പോയി ചേണ്ടി വെള്ളമായില്ലേ ചേണ്ടിക്ക് 13 നമ്മളല്ല 13 വാർഡ് ആർക്കൊന്നുമില്ല ഞാൻ വീക്ക് പോകണം ലീഗാണ് നമുക്ക് ഏറ്റവും പ്രധാനം മൂല്യത ശരിയല്ല എന്നാലും വേണ്ടില്ല സ്വഭാവം ശരിയല്ല ആകെ കംപ്ലൈന്റ് കൊടുത്താലും സ്വഭാവം ശരിയല്ല ഞാൻ ഒരു കുഴപ്പമില്ല ആള് നോക്കുമ്പോ ഏതിനൊക്കെ ആൾക്കാരാണ് ആൾക്കാർ വോട്ട് ചെയ്യില്ല അന്ന് നിൽക്കണമെങ്കിൽ അല്ല നമ്മളത് മറ്റേ അവനല്ലേ വോട്ട് വ്യക്തി ആൾ വേണം